Good morning. Welcome to your Saturday morning, early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well and hopefully influencing you beyond your day. I keep thinking about those 1 degrees of change we make, where over time we end up in a very different place than where we would have been had we not made those changes, which kind of fits with today's card. Good morning, Abigail. Glad you are here. Welcome. And we'll wait for a few more people to pop on, and then we'll get down to business in terms of learning what we're meant to learn today and how we're going to apply it. Good morning, Susan. And the fun thing is, everyone will apply it in a little different way, and how cool is that? Good morning, Cindy. Welcome, welcome. Glad you are here, getting the tribe together here. So, our card deck today is the Caroline Meese Wisdom for Healing deck. Good morning, good morning. Glad everybody's popping in. And its subtitle is 50 Lessons in Personal Empowerment. Good morning, Beth. Welcome. Personal empowerment. And that can be not only in the divinely masculine ways, what am I going to do, but also in the divinely feminine ways of how am I going to approach things, who am I going to be. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you are here. Welcome. Good morning, Ruth Ann. Hello, hello. Everybody popping in. So we're going to take that approach, a more holistic approach, divine masculine and divine feminine, toward this card today, because I think it's a really cool card. It is. Be proactive. Be proactive. And how many of us live most of our life, or an unfortunate amount of our life, being reactive? Something happens and we go, and that reactive approach is not coming from our most brilliant selves, is it? It's coming from our reptilian brain, which is all about survival and doesn't necessarily have nuance or intuition or finesse or any of the things that can make responding to something a much more productive process. So that's what we're going to work on today, is being proactive. Good morning, Mel. Glad you are here. So let's start by putting ourselves in more of a proactive, receptive kind of a state. Some nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. You feel that in my ribs today. Too many boxes carried at the rummage sale yesterday. So just keep breathing, in through the nose, out through the mouth. I probably emptied an extra 6 boxes or so into the sales floor, and a whole lot of stuff walked out. Interesting things that had been there for years. There were a couple of cloisonne eggs that had been sitting around for a long time. Good morning, Judy. And someone came in and she said, I have a friend who would love these. So later the friend and her significant other showed up, and indeed she did love them and take them with her. So that was awesome to send them on their ways. Thank you for the rainbow and the starburst, Mel. Those are awesome. Love all the little icons that everybody puts up, because it kind of gives you a sense of where people are at and what they view as important, right? Love it. All right, so be proactive. Let's see what it has to tell us. And again, listening not just with your physical ears, but your intuitive ears, the part of you that knows what you need to hear from today's lesson. And I'm going to go through it slowly, because the first time through, I want you to be as fresh as possible in terms of following this guidance. So I'm going to take each step and have you think about it. If you've got paper and pencil and you want to jot a few things down, that might be wise also. But I'd like to see what you get on your first blush with this thing, all right? So, first thing is, recognize one of the major areas of insecurity in your life. Recognize one of the major areas of insecurity in your life. So I'm going to pick money, because money has taken a significant turn since moving in with my father and not being able to work as much as I typically had. So it's been an interesting journey. So that's the one I'm going to pick. What are you going to pick? one of the major areas of insecurity in your life. And now I want you to see, and again, not just with your physical eyes, but with your intuitive eyes, your spiritual eyes. How much does that disempower you? This area of insecurity in your life, how much does that disempower you? Disempower you. One of the things I realized with the current money circumstance for myself is, in the past, when things were dicey with regard to money, I always had the thought, I can make money. I can make money hands down, no problem. I can always go back to old skill sets. I can create a side hustle. I can always make money. That was my belief. As I've gotten older, something has eroded that belief. Maybe it's being tired. I don't know. Oh, bummer. Gwen said she lost me. Well, I hope, because I haven't seen my signal get weird, but hopefully some of that sticks in there now. Be interesting to know. Again, I always find that when a signal lapses, whether it's here doing the Facebook thing or whether it's on a Zoom call, whenever we're dealing with something emotionally laden, the signal tends to go fritzy, which I just find so fascinating. So Cindy, yours has been okay. All right. Maybe Gwen, it's on your end. I'm not sure, because I haven't seen anything on my end give a signal. So, although we have dropped down from 8 people to 6 people, so I'm wondering if a couple of other people were having issues. Going back, reiterating, you've picked a major area of insecurity in your life that we're going to examine right now, and you're looking to see how much that disempowers you, and in what ways it disempowers you. And is it a subtle disempowerment, like subconsciously driven, which makes it much harder to address? If you have something that's slapping you in the head with how it's disempowering you, it's easier to see it and then easier to do something about it. If it's that subtle, just below the surface eroding of your empowerment, we're less likely to catch it. All right? Just something to think about. Now, given that major area of insecurity, seeing how it disempowers you, identify a small action you can take to address that insecure feeling. A small action you can take to address that insecure feeling. So, for me, with regard to the money issue, it might be going back to that belief, picking back up that belief that I can make money anytime, anywhere. Anyhow, I've got lots of options, I've got lots of skill sets, I can do this, no big deal. Readopting that mindset would be useful in this circumstance, right? What about for you? What about for you? What would be a small action that will move you in the direction of letting go of the insecurity and rebuilding your empowerment muscle? All right? Then it says, your goal is to observe whether you're proactive or passive, since healing requires proactive energy. What I'm going to say about that, because we've worked so diligently on building our divine feminine, right? And from the outside, that could look to somebody who's very steeped in the divine masculine and into action, 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 could look very passive, all right? But it's not. It's a very internally active process. Opening ourselves to receive, that's a process. There's action involved there. Putting out into the universe what it is that we really want. Our little God jar, okay? Divine feminine, right? We're turning things over. But we had to take the little slip of paper and write on there what it is that we're turning over for spiritual management, okay? So even if you feel like taking a divine feminine path with whatever this area of insecurity is feels passive, know that there's action involved, and know that we can step into that, because again, divine masculine and divine feminine are in everybody, and they're designed to work together. There's designed to be a flow between them. So when we turn it over to spirit, some aspect that we're insecure about, we turn that over. Good morning, Linda. Glad you're here. the universe may send back an opportunity for some kind of physical action. I'm going to go to this store. I'm going to call this person. I'm going to write that letter. I'm going to find this website. There's still some physical activity that might be called for. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? On this particular card, the proactive card, I always vote. Pay attention to these things. So Gwen, that your internet is slow this morning. Pay attention to that. What might that be trying to tell you? Is there some stickiness in your internal system that your internet is mirroring about coming forward with this process, about identifying a major area of insecurity, about paying attention, acknowledging how that disempowers you, identifying that small step. Good morning, Joe Bell, glad you're here. Identifying that small step that you're going to take to address that insecure feeling. All right? Feels like I need to give some examples. Feels like that might be helpful. So, an example. Let's say you've avoided dealing with your financial stuff because as soon as your financial planner, your banker, your accountant, your income tax person, whoever it is, starts talking about it. Good morning, Carolyn. Glad you're here. It's kind of like Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah. I'm going to suggest to you that somewhere under there in your subconscious mind is a message, an old message, probably from childhood, of I'm not going to understand this, I'm not going to get this, I can't figure this out, etc., etc. You can challenge that belief. I vote yes, certainly use your conscious mind. Maybe you create a little 3x5 card with something on it that grabs your attention. But also bring in your subconscious. So breathe into that. If you want to create a new belief, let's say your new belief is, I understand money. I understand how money works. Whatever you want to pick, breathe into that. Take some time with it. Breathe. If you hear that little voice inside that says, no, you don't, you've got a little more work to do. What are you going to do? One option is get some coaching. Another option is do some breath work, some literal breath work. Again, we've got Insight Timer, and there are drumming things on there. There's some really cool stuff so you can get into a real active panting breath and move some of this stuff out. Let's clear out these old cobwebby beliefs that do not serve us. Okay, so I'm going to pick another one. Perhaps we have the belief of I'm not something enough to have a partner in life. I'm not attractive enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not interesting enough. I'm not whatever your not enough is, okay, to have a partner in life. Take that approach of the disempowerment there, or oftentimes for women, it's body related. I have to lose 50 pounds before I'll ever find a partner. I have to, I don't look like I looked when I'm 20. Well, no kidding. Do any of us? But letting go all of that old crap that keeps us stuck. Wanting to do activities. Let's say you're wanting to start yoga, start swimming class, start bike riding, whatever, and you're doing that number on yourself. Well, I have to get in better shape first. I have to lose 50 pounds. Good morning, Bonnie. Glad you are here. Before I start this stuff. No. If there's something that you've wanted to do, the one that always strikes me is I had a woman many years ago, probably 25 years ago, and she was probably 400 pounds. And she, as a kid, she had loved swimming, and that would be a great activity for her because it wouldn't be hard on joints, etc., etc. Her thing was, though, I'm coming to you, Bonnie, to do some work with me so I lose enough weight that I actually can go to the pool. And I'm like, oh no, let's flip that around. You're going to the pool now, and we're working on your head stuff that's getting in the way of you allowing yourself to have a life. The handicap there was, good morning, Trish, glad you are here. I must lose weight before I have a satisfying life. No. Begin where you're at. Begin where you're at. So her then next complaint was, well, I don't have a swimsuit and I'm too big to get one. And I'm like, oh no. There was a seamstress in the town that I lived in at that point who made swimsuits. And so I sent this woman over there and she got a swimsuit that fit her at 400 pounds. So she could go to the pool. The first time getting to the pool was really hard for her. She sat in the parking lot and cried. Called me. I talked her through that. Understood. It's very difficult sometimes to take these steps. Once she made it in the door, once she got in the pool, once there were others around her in the same situation, she was able to stick with it. And again, begin to enjoy life. Going to the pool was not just about, I need to exercise. It was about, I need to begin to have a life. I need to go see people. I need to chat with the people at the pool. I need to be present in my life. I need to do some things that are going to help me feel like I'm having a life instead of merely existing. So that's kind of what I want for all of us today in terms of this Be Proactive card. I'm going to read it again slowly. Today's lesson. Recognize one of the major areas of insecurity in your life. About what are you insecure? Is it your body? Is it your lovability? Is it your intelligence? Is it your financial acumen? What is it that you feel insecure about? That you send yourself the messages of, I can't, I'm not good enough, I don't get this, whatever it is, okay? What's that area? Pay attention to how much it disempowers you. Oftentimes we don't look across our entire life categories to see how something disempowers us, all right? So look at it from a variety of perspectives. Let's say it's you're insecure in your job. How does that influence you in your relationships? How does that influence in your body care? How does that influence you in your home? It's going to be across the board. This stuff is pervasive. You don't just have it encapsulated where I'm insecure about money, but everything else is going gangbusters. No, that insecurity is going to leak over into everything else. All right? Then identify one small action you can take to begin to bust up that insecurity blob. One small action. I'm going to do some research on the internet. I'm going to call somebody and talk to them about this. I'm going to make an appointment for X. I'm going to sign up for coaching. I'm going to, whatever it is, I'm going to start walking today. And I'm going to walk to the corner and back. And that is good enough. Yay me. All right? Little things. When I went to that yoga class, after having blown off yoga for a year and a half, when I went to that yoga class, that took a little bit of a push to get there. Once I was there, it was fine. It was fine. All right. And again, your goal is to observe whether you're proactive or passive, since healing requires proactive energy. Again, that can be proactive, divine, feminine energy. I'm opening myself to receiving my guidance for what step to take with regard to, and then name your area of insecurity. All right? And we all have them. We all have them. All right? Have an awesome day. Happy Saturday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.